Hello everybody, my name is GetGoodGladdio and welcome back to Civilization 6. Today's video will be on early Barbarian control. This will cover Barbarian camps and spawns, Barbarian scouts, Barbarian units I recommend towards fighting Barbarians, general advice when fighting Barbarians, and combat versus Barbarians. On this demonstration, I will be playing against deity level Barbarians on standard speed. Just a quick little note before we start. I know I haven't posted in a while, 8 months. So if you would like more information about that, it will be at the very end of the video. Okay, so when combating deity level barbarians on standard speed, here are some general tips. The first tip is to scout with your warrior for a bit. This is because sometimes you can catch the barbarian scout and thus kill him early, or you can find the camp early and defeat the one spearman in the camp. As you can see, a barbarian scout has spawned down here, and thus I have to move my warrior to the south in order to combat the barbarian camp that spawned nearby. When a barbarian camp spawns, one scout and one spearman always spawn, and they always spawn next to each other. So the camp is next to this scout in one of these 4 tiles. Now, just a side note, I founded my city here on purpose. This is because I want to show the power of having one warrior. I want to show you how powerful one warrior can be against a barbarian horde. Now, the scout has found my city. It will return to its camp and start spawning units. What I would recommend in this situation is to move your warrior to your city. Now, this is in regards to barbarian camp spawns. Barbarian camps will usually spawn between 2 civilizations, 2 city-states, or a civilization and a city-state. With this information, and the fact that I am playing a continents map, it is most likely that since the camp is here, a civilization is possibly here or over here. Now, in regards to barbarian scouts, scouts have seen your city when they have a little exclamation point, as you saw from the scout earlier, above their heads. This means that they have seen a city. It does not specify which city or which civilization they have spotted. You can only really catch scouts if they are a significant distance from their camp. For example, if it was farther down here, I could have cut it off by going this way. And you should stop chasing scouts when they have a significant lead over you and you only have a warrior to chase them with. This is because the warrior cannot catch a scout, ever. Now, I will talk about barbarian units. The first barbarian unit, as you have seen, is the barbarian horseman. This barbarian horseman is unlike other horsemen. The early barbarian horseman has only 20 base strength. It does not have 36, as a regular horseman has. If it had 36, my warrior would have taken a more impactful hit, and thus would have died the next turn. Camps will continue to spawn barbarian horsemen that have 20 base strength until you reach the classical era, in which case they will start spawning barbarian horsemen with 36 strength. Besides the horsemen, a barbarian camp will spawn warriors if it does not have horses nearby. These warriors have 20 base strength, so they are a basic warrior. Another unit not shown here is the spearman. Every camp spawns with 1 spearman. It is a 25 base strength spearman. This spearman will stay in the camp in most cases. In some cases, if you kill the scout and it does not spawn a scout anytime soon, the spearman will move around. Sometimes this is an ample opportunity to capture the camp, but its main priority is to defend the camp. Thus, it will be in a fortified state for most of the game. The ranged unit that may accompany barbarian horsemen is the Saka horse archer. These Saka horse archers have 10 base strength and 15th range strength, so they are weaker than the Scythian Saka horse archers, and they spawn in place of slingers. Barbarian slingers have 5 base strength and 15 range strength. Barbarian horse archers are more dangerous because they are faster, and barbarian camps will spawn them more often. The slingers are significantly slower, weaker, and you can easily attack them after they get close to you. since they only have a range of 1. The last early barbarian unit that was spawned is the swordsman. This takes the place of the 36 strength horseman, and this only happens when you are in the classical era and there are no horses nearby for the barbarian camp. When you fight barbarians, especially deity level barbarians, you have to play defensively. This is because they spawn a lot more units. As you can see, I can attack with a major victory. However, I will not, simply because there will be more units, and thus I have to defend. Fortifying is shown by this symbol, the shield symbol. This gives the unit that is fortified plus 5 combat strength, and every turn it will heal. In your territory, this will heal 15 health. This is an incredibly strong combo and can help you ward off barbarian units. Now when fighting barbarians, I highly recommend you only attack if you have a major victory. This is because on the next turn, regardless of whether or not a barbarian unit will die or win, a barbarian unit will attack anyway. As you will see by this horseman, it will attack my warrior anyway, even though it will die in the process. You can count on this when combating barbarian units. Thus you will not only gain XP, but you can diminish the amount of units a barbarian camp has left. As demonstrated, the barbarian horseman attacked the warrior. Just a little note, I would highly recommend you clear barbarian camps early. This is because barbarians eventually get the support and flanking bonuses. They basically get +2 strength for each adjacent friendly unit. So, instead of this being 10 strength, it would be 12 strength, since there is an adjacent unit. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when there are a lot of barbarian units, it starts to stack up, and thus your warrior cannot take that many hits. And finally, the units I recommend when fighting barbarians. The first unit, the warrior. The first reason is that the warrior is really durable. As you can see, the warrior has a little more than half health and is fortified, and will take 2 horse archer shots, which will deal 15 strength each. As you can see, it took 21 damage and 17 damage, but healed for 15, since it is in my territory. So, it can take another one of those hits, making this incredibly durable. The second reason is that the warrior has a really good anti-barbarian promotion tree. Battle Cry is the first one. This is incredibly useful against barbarian warriors. You get 7 additional strength against barbarian warriors, and thus can usually crush barbarian warriors, especially when you are fortified in your own territory. The third reason why I recommend the warrior is because you can farm the first promotion for your warrior from barbarians. This is very useful because warriors level up into swordsmen. It is both useful when fighting barbarians and in the early game, in which you fight civilizations. The second unit I would recommend, the slinger or the archer. However, I would not recommend the slinger unless you have rough terrain, such as a lot of hills or a lot of lakes and rivers. If you have flat land, I would recommend the warrior, since not only barbarians can move quickly on flat land, but you can with a warrior. With a slinger, you can move quickly, but it will take a heavy hit, since the slinger only has 5 base strength. However, if you have researched the archer, I would recommend archers. This is simply because they are very effective against barbarians. If you have a warrior in the front, they can take a lot of hits from the barbarians, while an archer will chunk barbarians significantly, sometimes killing them at half health. Archers are also useful for the early game. The third and fourth units I would recommend, the swordsman and the horseman. If you have either strategic resource, then you can use it to your advantage. However, if you have both, I would highly recommend the swordsman. This is because the swordsman can be buffed by oligarchy, whereas the horseman cannot. The swordsman is also more durable than the horseman, since it has the warrior promotion tree. If you do not have strategic resources, and you have reached the point where the barbarian camps start spawning archers, swordsmen, horsemen with 36 strength, then your last option is the heavy chariot. This is a last tier option, and I would not recommend it. To be honest, I would recommend archers. However, if you are being overrun, warriors do not cut it. Warriors die really fast when the barbarians have 36 strength horsemen, swordsmen, or even archers. A heavy chariot, though, will be able to hold the line easier. However, a heavy chariot is the last resort if you have no strategic resource. Thank you all for watching my guide on early barbarian control. I know that I left out a few things, so if you do have questions, please ask them in the comments below. Please ask questions. And I hope this guide helps you get good. Alright, so this is the segment about me and my channel. The truth is, I wanted to do this for a long time. I wanted to keep making videos. You may ask why I just did not post for 8 months. And this is because it was a lack in my own confidence towards making these videos. It was also a lack of confidence and a lack of heart, you could say, towards doing anything at all. Even though I loved doing the first video. I really did love doing that video. But yes, I lost heart. I guess I just lost interest. I lost confidence. I know it's just a simple lackluster answer that feels like I'm saying I only did this because I felt like it. That's as simple as I could put it, that I felt like doing it. I know that some of you may have gone through these 8 months, maybe not even playing the game. Maybe you just waited for my video and it just never came, and you just gave up. Maybe some of you don't even need these guides anymore. Maybe some of you just thought I might have a second video where I just entertain you rather than teach you, because maybe you already learned this game, or you learned through another guide, or just simply I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But thank you. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you.